Hey my friends, really glad that you're here. I want to share with you a video about how our client Matt was able to go from pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, low testosterone, fatigue after meals, daily naps, to reversing his pre-diabetes, normalizing his testosterone, his cholesterol, but also regaining his energy levels. And Matt was someone who really aligned with like pro-metabolic eating, but at the time really wasn't sure if it was possible to use like similar guidelines to, really address his blood sugar, especially when doctors were telling him, hey, you got to go low carb here. But he came to us because we had a deep understanding of metabolism, of course, and its importance to health, but also how to make things work when you're experiencing blood sugar issues. And so if you're new here and we haven't connected, my name is Isaac Pohlman. I am a registered dietitian, a fellow person with type 1 diabetes. And what we do is we help our clients improve their blood sugars for good. And the way that we do that is dig down deep into what is going on inside of your body. We are not giving you one size fits all cookie cutter recommendations. We're not telling you to cut out carbs or any other food groups. In fact, we're going to help you identify your sweet spots by uncovering the unique reasons why your blood sugar is imbalanced so that you can get unstuck quickly and really see those improvements fast. And then we'll work on reviving your metabolism with personalized nutrition, lifestyle shifts that, of course, support balanced blood sugar, but also support you feeling great in the process, because it makes no sense for us to just chase good blood sugars without you feeling your best at the same time. And that really allows clients to stop obsessing so much about every bite of food. And then thirdly, we'll help you achieve what we call carb freedom by addressing things like mineral imbalances so that you can enjoy steady blood sugar, carbs without the guilt, right? And so if that sounds like what you were looking for as well, DM me the word interest, and from there we can set up a call to see, if we're the best team to support you with your blood sugar and your health goals. So let's dive into Matt. And Matt came to us after having signs of prediabetes, high cholesterol, low testosterone, fatigue, having to take daily naps to really get by. And it got to a point where his doctor was saying, hey, you should go on low carb. You should consider medications like statins, blood sugar medications. Typically, the first one is going to be something like metformin. He was fatigued, needing to take daily naps. And then the kicker for him, which I thought was interesting, his life insurance policy was raising their rates because of these levels. And if he didn't get those down, he was going to have to pay this higher rate for his insurance. And so that was a huge motivation for him as well. And so he had tried like the Whole30, intermittent fasting, pro-metabolic, but since blood sugar was a new focus for him, he wasn't really sure how to best support his body, especially with a doctor pressuring him to go low carb. And that really wasn't something that he wanted to go, especially all that he learned through his pro-metabolic experience, right? And so he, with some of those, lost a little bit of weight, but many times it involved cutting out foods, cutting out meals, was an approach that didn't allow him to feel very good and really didn't address the blood sugar specifically. And he wanted to make sure that he got this right this time around. And so what we focused in on for Matt is implementing the Pohlman Method, where we really focused on the fundamentals of good blood sugar control and good health for the bulk of our time. And those fundamentals for him included improving his stress resilience and addressing his family routines so that everybody could benefit. And so out of the hundreds of clients that we have coached, one of the biggest things that we see is the reason why someone's blood sugar is imbalanced, especially in the case of Matt, is because their body's stressed and they're not in a routine that is ultimately supportive to their body. Maybe it's supporting their kids, their partner, their family, their work, but not the health of their body. And that's what Matt was finding as well. And so he was working, he was traveling, he was taking care of young kids, but these demands, especially without supporting his body, were really leaving his body, quite stressed. And stress, how we would define that, as a mismatch between the demands that you're placing on your body in comparison to the resources that you have to cope with those demands, right? And when we don't have enough resources to cope with those demands, ultimately stress rises, as does blood sugar. And so for Matt's case, his blood sugar was rising, his insulin resistance was rising, A1C cholesterol, and then what was coming down was his metabolism, his testosterone, his energy levels, his ability to tolerate carbs, right? So exactly the results that he wasn't wanting. And so our clients see such great results because we identify and address those unique stressors. And so for Matt, it was a combination of home and work stress and really finding pockets of time to slow down and time for just himself because he was very involved with his family, very involved with his work. And so for him, that actually required a job shift to get into that routine that allowed him to lower that stress on his body and then also work with his family to find routines that allowed consistency with meal times and bedtimes and playtimes. That way where they were on a similar routine and it wasn't just this chaos all over the place. And so that really helped him to improve his sleep, wake up with more energy and ready to start the day. The second thing that we focused on for him was nutritional density because he was eating a lot of snacks, not really full, dense meals, and especially lacking in protein and fiber, so he really wasn't eating enough. At the same time, he was skipping meals because of the busyness with the family at work. He didn't have things prepared. And then to compensate, he would be really hungry, especially by the time that he had dinner. And he would eat these big meals and they were loaded with carbs, especially at the end of the day, which is your body really playing catch up and probably the worst time of day to have your biggest meal, right? Especially when you're insulin resistant. And so that was leading to big blood sugar fluctuations as a result, especially spiking up. And because of those spikes, he was feeling very lethargic after meals, unproductive at work, needing a nap to sleep that off. And so we really focused on increasing that density, providing more protein, more fiber, more denser carbs, so he wasn't spiking up so much, which for him led to more energy to be able to actually exercise and completely eliminate those naps. So for him, that was a huge piece. And so the last thing that we focused in on was increasing his movement, gradually including more afternoon walks, the frequency of those walks, and then getting him up to a point where he was doing body weight workouts. And for him, that led to a lot more energy. It was a huge piece for him to feel energized from the moment that he woke up to the time that he was going to bed. So really big piece of that. And the other thing with this too is his testosterone levels were low, right? But his cholesterol levels were high. And the interesting thing with that is when you have high cholesterol and like a low hormone like testosterone, there's a connection there because cholesterol actually gets converted into hormones like testosterone, right? And so think about it like a kink in the hose. No water is coming out on the other end because of stress and not having the right routines. Well, this really helped him to normalize both, get his testosterone up, lower his cholesterol, making sure that conversion was actually working. And that's like such a critical sign of a healthy metabolism when your body's able to do that. And so after implementing that, Matt was able to fully reverse his prediabetes while eating foods like ice cream and pizza and sourdough bread. He was able to regain his energy, eliminate his naps. He was able to normalize his cholesterol and his testosterone levels. And then he was able to keep his life insurance at that lower rate. So really incredible results with Matt. And this is not out of the ordinary. If you want to balance out your blood sugar, especially during the holidays right now where there's holiday cookies and desserts and foods, if you want to balance your blood sugar, really restore your health for good without cutting out those carbs, message me the word interest, and then from there we can have a one-on-one conversation to see if we're the best team to be able to support you with your blood sugar and your health goals.